Okay guys, what's up? Lord of Shadows here today to do this one. Chapter 783 review 7, 8, and 3. Yo, with this chapter, all that grant the wish that all, not only me, but all the fans of One Piece have been waiting for this moment until the return of the Sable Archipelago to Dressrosa arc. And I only have one word. Gear 4. The things that every single fan of One Piece around the world was waiting for. In the end of the chapter, it come true. Luffy's gonna use the Gear 4, and after that, the Flamingo is doomed. Well, let me go from the beginning to the start. From the beginning to the end, okay? So the beginning of the chapter, after Trebol caused the kamikaze mission, so he blown up the top of the palace, and you can see that everyone was on fire, and I don't even know if Trebol was burned, or with the explosion he blew away, like Luffy and Law did. I don't know. But I was really a bit disappointed at the beginning of the chapter, because I really wanted to see the explanation of the Trebol's Delphoon about his past, why he was so thin, his personality and everything, but it doesn't matter. But until we see his corpse, we can say he's dead. But for now, we don't know if he's dead or alive. The choice is yours to decide. For my opinion, it's a 50-50 chance. Yeah. So after all the explosion, we have to see the top of the palace all on fire, and we haven't, go to hell with them to talk about whatever. The Dontata, Nico Robin, Kiros, and Rebecca, they see the top of the palace, that everything's on fire, and there's a big explosion. The Dontata was Leo was worried about Luffy, and even Nico Robin was, worried about Luffy and Doflamingo. Did they die, or what happened? What just happened? And Leo just wished that it could happen, but of course, Kiros and Nico Robin said no. Don't help them. Leave their fight alone. This is a one-on-one fight, because if we try to enter there and try to help him, it will be just a big burden to Luffy, like Nico Robin said. And it's true, because that's a one-on-one fight. Because every time when Luffy tries to fight an enemy, or is Rob Lucci, or Crocodile, or Gecko Moria, or the Marines, or for example, I don't know, Enel, he always fighting one-on-one. He never wants a help. He never wants a help from or his crew or or his friends. He doesn't want it. He wants to win this fight fair and square. And I understand that, because he's the what the fuck, he's the main protagonist, and always the captain or a crew always fights another captain or the main villain of an arc. Yeah. So after all that is managed, there you have Luffy and Law. Luffy jumping from the explosion and trying to save Law, and then we have Nico Robin and Luffy saw her and drop down Law's body, and of course Nico Robin with her fruit. He tried to create a spider web so he can catch him, and it's really funny. She can use the spider web in Doflamingo hand. Wow. Nico Robin uses it to try to catch anyone. Doflamingo uses it as a shield. That's the big difference, but whatever. So there you have Nico Robin try to catch Law, and she catches it with a spider web, and there you have Doflamingo just staying there and say, "Yo, Nico Robin, keep your nose out of this. Law is mine. His game is not over. Give it back. I want to squash him over and dead. I want to put him out of his misery," just like he said to Luffy. And of course, when he tried to do the string attack, there you have with Jet Pistol and the Bushido Haki, of course, armament. He tried to crush Doflamingo and stop the attack. And at some point he did, but if it wasn't for Cavendish, who tried to come there and save her with his sword. I know the technique, I really don't remember it. It was really complicated, but he saved Nico Robin and Law. And of course, after that, Luffy and Doflamingo were still fighting each other, and the fight was really going well. 1 point for Luffy, a few points for Doflamingo, because everyone is dodging, striking, doing their best to beat each other. But go Luffy! Go Luffy! Even if Doflamingo is a badass, Luffy will still win the fight. He's the main protagonist. Well, whatever. So after, all the battle was going on against Doflamingo and everything, and then you have, you know, after Luffy tried to drop down Law to Nico Robin, the fight was still going on, and every time when they were fighting, Doflamingo was just asking the first question: why are you still in my way? You're a weakling pirate, you're nothing. You have the speed, you have the guts, but you still can't defeat me. And it was really, you know, really impressive, you know, like, because every single, you know, because where the main battle always begins, not only One Piece, but every single battle in all the series or comics, whatever. Every time when a main hero or a main villain fight each other, the main villain will always say, "You're nothing, you're weak, you can't defeat me, I'm the strongest," and all this shit speech. Then at the end of the battle is the other way around. So this is what Doflamingo is doing. He hears a shitty speech. He cannot defeat him because every time when he saw Luffy, he always wonders why a weakling pirate like him can survive. Because if you remember, we had a flashback about Luffy. And we had a flashback about, you know, after Alabasta arc, when Doflamingo find out about, you know, like Crocodile was defeated, and even that time he thought it was impossible because even they were Shichibukai, and I can see they were not very friendly. You can see the Marineford with their clash. But where it appears that Doflamingo knew how strong Crocodile was, so for him it was impossible that some little known pirate can defeat him. And after every time he said, Treble, you know, Treble, find every single information you can find about this pirate crew. I want to know everything you have about this pirate called Straw Hat Luffy. And after we see, he's supposed to know, he was wondering, look at this. The Brat's bounty suddenly went sky high, you know, because after he defeated Crocodile, his bounty raised to 100 million berries. If you remember in Jaya, before the fight against Bellamy. So he said, you know, I can repeat, he said to Treble, you know, go check out of this little pirate. I never heard of his name before, and of course he didn't. Because every time when a hero is on a smaller step, bigger enemies, they never find out nothing about them. But when they make a bigger step, then you have trouble. Then you have the main hero showing his true colors. And even when that was the first time I can see with his flashback, I can consider that was the first time when Doflamingo found out about Luffy, that he was a D. Because, you know, when he looked at the ones and said, Monkey D. He's D too. God's natural enemy. I have to destroy him. Or fear him, whatever. So, in that point of view, I can understand that that was the first time we found out about Luffy, and he have a D. And even that time, when after the flashback was finished, he always was wondering why, even after the Skyfall that he had in Marineford, after the battle on Heaven, you know, the War of the Best, you know, against the Whitebeard pirates, he said that you're still able to survive, and little by little, you step in front of me. You know, he was, you know, in some point of view, he was still wondering why a weakling pirate like that can go against me. Because, you know, I'm stronger than you and everything, all this shit. So, and even that time, Luffy got a really nasty strike with Doflamingo's leg. But I'm sure Luffy is strong, so he resists some point of view. Yep. But after that, you know, all the fight and everything that Doflamingo and Luffy had, then you have a sentimental speech of Law. It was really interesting because I never saw Law. And there's also, you see that it was sometimes open. Like, for example, he called the Straw Hats the crew that make miracles, or he was talking about Rocinante. But you see, because after the scene of the fight against the first scene, the fight against Luffy and Doflamingo, you saw Cavendish take the Law's body and try to lead him out of the palace so he cannot be hurt. And there's when you have, you know, just wait a second, and Cavendish say, "Oh, you're awakened. Oh yeah. Ooh, right. I forgot about that." There was one interesting part in, you know, when Cavendish came there and protect Nico Robin and Law, because like he said, when he saw Doflamingo, he tried to kick his ass with his sword, like he protect Nico Robin Law with his string attack. And there's where you have, Luffy said, "I will leave everyone in your care. You lead them out of this place. They need to be safe. Leave this place, and I will let everyone in your care. No, I will leave everyone in your care. Don't disappoint me." It's something of you. And there's where you have, a funny quote with Cavendish, because after Luffy said this to Cavendish, he thought that he is a fan of him. And he knows him, that even a big guy, a big top pirate rookie like him loves Cavendish. He said, "Well, Sans, a friend of mine asked me to do it, and I have no reason to refuse." In his point of view, because like he put from the top to the bottom, Strawhead is a fan of mine. Then you have popularity. Then you have attention, and then you have trust, and at the bottom you have leave everyone. It was really funny, because after that scene, Cavendish asked, Bartolomeo to create with the barriers, to create the stairs like he created when they got up to the palace. My God, sometimes Bartolomeo really impressed me, but sometimes really annoys me, because when he said to them, you just see Bartolomeo, he was so sad. And I don't know if he was sad or happy. It was really strange, because the expression in his face, you cannot see if he is happy or sad. Really, he was just like, senpai, everything that. Even Kevin said, "Are you listening to me, you idiot?" But after that, he created the Slayer Soul. He was listening to him, but it was too much concern to Zoro. After the battle against Pika. But there was one of the even main parts I forgot to mention. When Bartolomeo tried to create the stairs with his barrier, there is where you have Kiro said, "Well, is there any way to heal him?" And then he said, because if you remember, he have the some string Delphi that he can retouch everything he have. Like for example, when you try to retouch Frankenstein's head or leg or arm with the rope, So there's where saying some point of view he was trying to do that, because he said the part he was cut was already a bloody mess, and it was when he was dissected. If only I could stitch this up, then I could use my flower pot to operate it. So, if some one of you, Mancherry is not the only one who can heal, but even Leo in some point of view, he can too. There was a really big question. If he can or not, because he said operate. So I don't know if it was a technique or in some point of view of explanation that he can do it. I don't know, it really was interesting. It really was. But after, we go to the last part of the chapter, like I said. So there you have, like I said, we return to the law of speech. He said, "Put me down and go." And like Kevin said, "What are you talking about?" Then he said, "For 13 years, I have lived just to kill the flamingo." Naturally. And he was trying to do his best. Even if Luffy asked him, how can you resist after all these attacks the law giving, the Gamma Knife and the counter shock. But he said, "I did whatever I had to do. The rest is up to Straw." In some point of view, like in this speech, he seems that he has really big faith in Luffy. He will win the battle. And he said, "If he wins this fight, I would like to be here and see it with my own eyes." And then he said, "If he loses, I will die together by his side." Not only that, not only because they made this alliance, but it appears like he said, Straw Hat Crew make miracles, but even if he's a D, like Law, it appears the Law have big faith and big respect for Luffy after what he said here. And at the beginning of this was, that the D will bring a storm once again, and when he was talking to the Straw Hat Crew, they make miracles. Because even as he said, it was me who led him into this battlefield. Put me down and go. Very impressive, because this speech was very touchful, very touching, and very good. Because in this point of view, you can see Law how much he respects Luffy. That he knows that Luffy can defeat him. Well, We all know he will. But even there, Nick Robin tried to explain that the captain of an alliance should have the same standpoint. Because if you remember, Nick Robin said that Luffy, if he came here by his own will, because he will never participate in this alliance if he didn't have a chance to fight against him. That was the main solution. But even after that, the owner said Law saying that let me go, and I will want to watch the fight between Doflamingo and Luffy. And then you have Cavendish, after he's trying to take him away, he said he will just put him down and start to guard him. And even said to him, it was really impressive. Not only that he respects Luffy, but now he respects him the Law. Because he said to him, if you have to die, I will die before. And he gave Nico Robin the coat so she can hide her injuries that Diamante gave him with her spiky iron balls. And even Bartolomeo created the stairs with his barrier power, so they can go down below to the very low level, so they can be safe. And after that, we had the remaining fight against Luffy and Doflamingo, this main and the last part of the chapter. All this time, when Luffy and Doflamingo was fighting each other, Doflamingo was saying that he is a weakling, he cannot defeat him, he's just a normal pirate, you don't get a chance against me. I'm a world noble, I'm a former Tenryubito, I'm a Shichibukai, I'm powerful, I'm the strongest shit it is. But like I always said, nothing is indestructible. Not even Doflamingo, and not even a Yonko. Because like I said in character discussion about the elite officers, or everyone, it doesn't matter how strong you are. What matters is how much experience you have in fighting. That's all that matters. Not your age or not your self-confidence. That's the only thing that matters. How much experience you are. So after that, all the dodging and striking and everything. Doflamingo tried to explain to Luffy that they have 1 hour until the birdcage shrinking and destroy everyone. Because like you said, in 30 minutes, the people will start screaming. In 40 minutes, we will see a lot of rivers of blood and squash like tomatoes, like he explained. In 50 minutes, will be complete silence. So that at some point away, everybody will be dead. And he said that the old people and the one who were injured and the babies will not be able to walk or run. After all of this, Luffy said to him that stop making a shit like that. All this crappy talk, what he said about the peace, the peace, it's fake. And naturally it is. Duh. It is. And he said that if he didn't appear to Dressrosa and take it and to be a king like 800 years ago, the first ancestor of the Don Quixote family did, Dressrosa will still live even now, today, in peace and harmony. But of course, the Doflamingo came there and shit and everything, and make Dressrosa live in hell. His son point of view. And even Doflamingo said he is the one who is getting his way. Law and Luffy. But Luffy said that the birdcage and him are staying his way, in his path to become the pirate king and in this adventure. And he will do anything to protect his friends, that he made them cry in pain, and every single citizen, even Law and King Riku and everybody else, even Rebecca, and all the Corrida Colosseum gang. He will make sure that all will be safe and secure. And he will be the one who will be squashed, defeated. He lose this battle. And then you have, like this, complete black page, black picture. And just one word. Gear 4. And there's where the chapter ends. Ladies and gentlemen, the Gear 4 is finally activated. Luffy in the next chapter will use it against Doflamingo, and after all, and I believe after that, Doflamingo is fucked up. We finally saw that Oda granted us the wish that we've been waiting from the beginning of the 2 years time skip until the Dressrosa arc. That Luffy, we're gonna use the Gear 4 technique. I'm thirsty. God interesting. I don't really have anything to say. The only thing I can say, I'm a bit disappointed that we didn't find a little bit more about Tribble, but whatever. If he's dead or alive, well, it's a 50-50 chance. But the main part here is that the Gear 4 is activated. The wish that every single fan around the world, not only here where I am, but around the world, wish it to see. From the Japanese to the American people. And then you have it. And here where the chapter ends. And unfortunately, no chapter next week because of that golden week, fucking golden week, when Oda takes a break, well, whatever. Great masters, great geniuses always have to make a break if they don't want to draw or create something to death. They need to relax. But there is the point, because now I finally notice it, because every time when a big thing has to happen in One Piece, Oda is always taking 1 week break. Just to make us, nervous. What will happen? How this Gear 4 will gonna look like? And that was his, that's a military. That was his target, for my opinion. That's what I think, because he tried to make us believe what will happen. He wants to see in us what we will think, what will happen. The chapter will come. And show words, no chapter next week, so we'll have to wait until the second week. The next chapter One Piece. So here I am done. I really like this chapter. Really epic in speeches, in battle. Oda is giving us the fight that we always wanted. Doflamingo against Luffy. And I can see that Luffy is doing his best against Doflamingo. And I can even say, even before he said the Gear 4, he can still match Doflamingo. I believe he can. And now he used the Gear 4. Doflamingo is fucked up. So here I am done. So make the story short. Rate the video, comment, subscribe. It's not very easy for rating videos, just using your mouse, click. Comment, subscribe, give me a thoughts of this, give me what you think of all this battle, give me what you think about how this Gear 4 is gonna look like. Drop me a like, I really appreciate that. If you think the Tribble is alive or dead, give me your opinions. It's a 50-50 chance. Drop me a like, I really appreciate it. And this chapter was really epic and good. I will give it 10 out of 10. I know it's crazy, but I give it 10 out of 10. It's really awesome. The beginning of Gear 4 is started, then the main part of the battle against Doflamingo has begun. Drop a like, we appreciate that. Comment, subscribe, give me a thoughts of what you think of all this, what I said. Peace everyone, have an awesome day. Lord of Shadow signing off. Yo!